Welcome again, everybody, to another edition of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. Today, I'm making a great Italian favorite called steak pizziola. Karen, I told you I was going to make this, and now you'll be able to make it for Mike. I'm sure he's going to love it. So what we have is we have just a few ingredients. This goes really fast, okay? And it's really easy to make. So stick with me, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll go over the ingredients right now. There's just a few basic ingredients for this. For this, I've got a boneless ribeye. You can use New York strip, you can use round steak, which you'll have to cook a little longer, but I'm using boneless ribeye. We've got a cup of onion, one small onion or half a large Vidalia onion. I've got 3 cloves of garlic, which are slivered. I've got fresh oregano. This is about 1.5 tablespoons. If you're using dry oregano, you're going to use a half a tablespoon of dry oregano. I've got 2 cups of passata or tomato puree here, and I've got 2 cups of petite diced tomatoes. I've also got a 1/4 cup of olive oil that's heating in the frying pan. And so let's get to making this right now. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to salt and pepper our steak on both sides. I'm using really cool gravity-fed salt and pepper shakers that I got from our friend Dawn for my retirement. So you can see you just turn these things over and they drop the salt and pepper. Do the same thing to this side. Now we're going to drop this into the already heated oil. You can hear that sizzle. We're going to cook this until it browns on both sides real good and around the edges. Now we're going to take the steak out and we're going to let it rest. We're going to take this and we're going to dump most of this oil out. I left a little bit in there. Now we're going to take some red wine and we're going to deglaze the pan. And we'll add in the onion. And stir. Once the wine is nearly reduced, we add in our garlic and stir. After about 2 minutes of sauteing and stirring the garlic in with the onion, we're going to add our passata or tomato puree and the diced tomatoes, and we're going to stir these together. Now we're going to add in our fresh oregano and stir that in. Now we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt and stir. Now that this has come to a boil, we're going to add in our steak and make sure it's covered with this tomato sauce. And then we're going to reduce the heat to a light rolling boil and we're going to cover for about 30 minutes. After about 15 minutes, flip the steak over, make sure it's covered with tomato sauce, and cover it and let it finish cooking. Well, it's been about 30 minutes, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the steak out, we're going to shake most everything off, and we're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. We're also going to reserve some of this sauce, stir it, and reserve a whole bunch of it to pour over the steak when we're ready to plate it. And I've got some rigatoni regatta here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. We've turned the heat off of the sauce. And as I mentioned, I have some rigatoni regatta that I just drained. And we're going to add all this into the pool. You can use any other kind of pasta you want. I know the recipe didn't originally call for it. This is something I like to add to it. It helps make the dish go a little farther, and it makes it a little more hearty. And you can see how this rigatoni regatta is just all nice and swimming in this sauce. To serve this, we're going to cut these into pieces. We're going to cut this into pieces on an angle, on a bias. Next, we're going to lay these pieces out for presentation. Then we're going to add some of this nice rigatoni regatta. And we're going to add some of this fantastic PIZZIOLA sauce. And last, we're going to add a couple of pieces of nice crusty bread along with some garnish. And that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of how to make steak PIZZIOLA. This is really great, and as you've seen, it's not very hard to make. The ingredients come together real quick. The longest time is a 30-minute cooking time of the steak. And then I added in the rigatoni and the ciabatta, hard crust bread. But there it is. And don't forget, you can throw some Parmesan cheese on this. As a matter of fact, it's a must. So I'll be throwing some Parmesan cheese on this, and you'll see that in the videos. So I hope you'd enjoy this episode. I hope to see you again on another episode of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. Buon appetito, everybody, and have a great day.